Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. 3 and out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Let's go. On the training camp turf, the baddest collision on the face of the earth. 32 teams coming hungrier than ever. We smash through the grind and we pull together. Turn up the volume, let the speakers explode. IA Sports Radio, the king of the road. The season premiere is breaking the mold. The summer can hold. NFC week is locked at the door. Now we're crossing the line for the AFC war. 3 and out, the battle lines are drawn. 8 divisions strong, the war is going on. Lock it in today, we're clearing out the way. 8 divisions deep, 8 divisions in 8 days. 3 and out. North to the Wild Wild West, East Coast to South, putting teams to the test. Stick it to them now, let the trash talk fly. Look them in the eyes under the summer sky. The gridiron is calling, the tape doesn't lie. We're drawing the line where the giants defy. 4 shows for the NFC, 4 for the AFC. Breaking down every single team on the map, you'll see. Hear the battle cry call. Direct feed for all that is football. 3 and out, the battle lines are drawn. 8 divisions strong, the war is going on. Lock it in today, we're clearing out the way. 8 divisions deep, 8 divisions in 8 days. 3 and out.
If that don't get you fired up, I don't know what will. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go, y'all. We're ready, man. Again, I'm hyped. I wanted to grab my guitar and solo along with it, man. I'm telling you, let's do this, man. We have ourselves one hell of a show tonight. You guys have been great. I'll tell you, yesterday's show, over 1,500 people tuning in. You guys have been amazing. 11 years of IE Sports, well, 12 years of IE Sports Radio, 11 years of 3 and Out. Let's go, man. If you ain't hyped up, what are you even doing here, man? Get up in that chat room. We appreciate you. Glenn Ritter jumping in already. My boy Brian Francione. Let's do this, y'all. Be here to stay. Don't just pop in and say hello. Be here for the long haul. We got ourselves a good one tonight, man. NFC East. We finished up with the NFC West yesterday. That was a fun one. You guys heard my thoughts. You heard all of the thoughts of all of our diehards, man. That was a that was a really fun show. Definitely appreciate everybody who was on yesterday's show talking about the NFC West, kicking things off there because, well, obviously the champs came from that division, right? The Seattle Seahawks. And well, that's just kind of what I've always followed. I don't know. That's just kind of, I got asked that one time, like, why do you go in that order? I don't know. I just always went north, west, east, south. So I just kind of go off of that. So yeah, so we started with the West this year and the NFC won. So obviously we're going today, the NFC East, tomorrow, the NFC South, and finishing off Friday with the NFC North. We have the traditional 3 and Out season 11 premiere with my boys, man. You see their names down there, Teran Rodriguez and Big Mike. They're going to be joining me on Sunday for our completely revamped show. It's going to be a fun one, man. That's going to be a fun one on Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll be talking all kinds of everything, high school football from all around the country, junior college, 3C2A, and NJCAA. And, of course, we'll be getting into the NAIA, NCAA Division III, Division II, FBS, FCS, and the NFL. No stone unturned, y'all. That's what we do here at IE Sports Radio, and that's what we do here on 3 and Out. So we got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a podcast within a podcast tonight. Yeah, go figure that one out, right? That's how we do things. We have some great people joining us tonight, man. All four. We have an entire podcast joining us in a few minutes, which is pretty sweet. They made a great video. Big shout out to the crew, man, covering their Dallas Cowboys. Then we're going to head on over. So we're going to start things off down south in Texas. That's right, man. Start things off in Dallas, Texas. Then we're going to head on over and head east. Head on over to DC. You already know, man. We're going to head over to the nation's capital and talk about them, Washington Commanders, and with none other than our very own Mike Pat here of IE Sports Radio. Then we're going to head on up to New York, y'all. East Rutherford, New Jersey, that is. Head on over, talk some Giants, man. We got a brand new newcomer, Jessie Lynn. Really excited for her tonight. She's making her debut here on the show, talking about her Giants. And then we're going to end things off in the city of brotherly love. But let's just say this division is anything but love. We're going to finish things off in Philly, man, talking with the Fly Eagles Network. I'm really excited, man. We got some great people here tonight, man. And I just want to make dang sure I got that correct. But yeah, I'm really excited for tonight's show, man. This is going to be a good one. Again, we have an amazing cast of everyone coming up today. The Philly Flyover Network. Okay, so we'll be getting his views. Gonna be a great one tonight, man. Again, we just appreciate you guys for being here. So, without further ado, man, let's get on into NFC East Day. Again, this is day number 2. We have plenty more of these. And for those of you who are wondering, well, what's going on with AFC week? That's kicking off on Sunday. We're going to have shows going on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be the final day right before the Hall of Fame game next Thursday. It's coming quick, guys. I'm excited. I'm a teacher, so I'm going back to work on that same exact Thursday, but at least I got football going with me, right? So is what it is. Enjoying the end of the summer vacation here. And there you go, man. Blessed. That's all I can say. Blessed to have a job, right? and my dream job. So all good. But with that said, you guys, let's go ahead and change the color of tonight. You saw the color change right there. Let's get that Cowboys blue, that darker shade of blue, if you will, and get things ready for this Dallas Cowboys season premiere. Again, this is what we're starting off with tonight. And what can you say about the Dallas Cowboys, man? This this franchise, I swear, sometimes you wonder about them, right? So much talent, so much going on with this team, so many eyes, and then constant downfalls. And it's crazy because they're amazingly gifted. And then crap happens, right? Some people are blaming Jerry. Some people are having fun with Jerry. Some people are blaming everything every which way. You got some like me that are just like like a Raider fan, just like yeah, screw it, I just watch it to watch it, that kind of thing. But I'll tell you right now, this Cowboys team this year is there reason to believe it's a little bit different. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But all right, guys. So again, with that said, let's jump on it. And if you're just jumping in, I guess we just got a crap load more people tuning in right now. So let me go ahead and give a quick little before we get into the Cowboys. One more time, I'll give a brief little introduction, man. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. This is day number 2. Yesterday was the NFC West. Today is the NFC East. Let's get to it, y'all. Again, tonight we have, I'll give you a little bit of a preview before we even get into the entire division today, right? So again, yesterday we took a wild ride through the NFC West, and today we're diving straight into the heavyweight cutthroat chaos of the NFC East. All right, so let's quickly reset where the division left off last year. So the Philadelphia Eagles claimed the crown. They were 11-6, locking down back-to-back division titles for the first time in 2 decades, even if their offense sputtered down the stretch. That's fair, right? That's fair. I mean, again, we have a solid team, in Philly, right? And Super Bowls recently looking good, and they just kind of fell flat. So what do you do? Again, 11-win team, not going to down them. Okay, definitely a solid team, but again, they sputtered. Can they reemerge this year? The Dallas Cowboys limped through the entire season, man. They limped through a rough 7-9-1 campaign last year, dealing with a disastrous defense that finished dead last, y'all, in points allowed. Sad, right? After a massive roster shakeup and missing out on the entire postseason. These guys had no chance. And it's kind of crazy because they were the second best team. Says a lot about the rest of the division, right? So that after this, we have the Washington Commanders, which turned into the ultimate struggle bus, if you will, man. These guys, they tumbled all the way to a 5-12 season after a really, really good 2024/25 run. These guys were in the NFC freaking championship. And you want to talk about a fall from grace? That was insane. They go from Patriots status, at that hardcore top tier and completely fall into like Raider mode. All right. So looking like the Cardinals out there. So this was largely because the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, missed 10 games due to a bunch of injuries, unfortunately. And then we have the New York Giants. Oh, basement. I mean, what more do you say? 4-13. They leading to the end of the Brian Dabble era, sorry, and I don't know, man. Opening the door to a massive reset. So really, again, this is just a crazy deal. And big shout out to everybody in the chat room, by the way, man. Again, you guys got a mass amount of people jumping in. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for the love. They must love the History Channel. Cold-blooded, man. And yay, what's going on, Big Mike? He'll be joining us on Saturday to kick off the premiere of this show. I know. What do you know? 3 and Out, y'all. We need like tons of premieres. This is how we do it here. So, all right, guys. So again, with that's basically a little bit of introduction for this entire division. And as we roll into training camp right now, obviously everyone's pretty much up and going in July of 2026. The landscape of this division is shifting it again. Can Philadelphia fend off the rest of the pack? They're clearly the best team right now on paper as we see them, but can Dallas bounce back with an entirely revamped defense? Now they're a little more healthier. Now they look a little bit better. Will Jaden Daniels stay healthy in Washington under a brand new offensive scheme? And can John Harbaugh instantly wave a wand and turn Big Blue around? That's the biggest question, right? I mean, that's crazy because, again, I never thought I'd see John Harbaugh not a Raven, and now here he is. He's leading Big Blue. So let's break it down team by team. Again, first up, let's get to it, and I'm going to give them their name. I know some people are going to be mad at me because it's not, but whatever is what it is. This is their nickname, America's team. So we're going to be starting with America's team tonight, man. Looking at the Dallas Cowboys heading into training camp in good old Oxnard, California. The biggest storyline is actually, it's not what isn't happening, and that's the drama. Crazy, right? Aside from some tame contract talks with George Pickens and a kicker, Brandon Aubrey, training camp has opened with a breath of fresh air, honestly. And that's even drawn applause from the franchise legend Emmitt Smith. Because, I read a ton of crap. I must read like as many articles as I possibly can, and YouTube videos and media and NFL Network and all this crap. So I'm reading stuff and everything. So my little notes here, I'll jot little things down like that. So, but really, offensively, my deal for these guys is offensively. The big question is whether Dak can stay healthy and drive another massive year. I mean, it's kind of hard. Some analysts, I would say, are even tossing around 5,000-yard projections, which is crazy. Backed by elite weapons like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, great, and I get that. But the real story in Dallas is complete surgery performed on that defense. What other way do you say it, right? They finished dead last in points allowed and total D last year after Micah Parsons, which cost Mike Eberflus's job, really. So entering this season, I don't know. You got young defensive coordinator Christian Parker and massive influx of veterans like Quinnen Williams. We got Rashawn Gary. See if I forgot to write anybody else down here. Anyway, I don't want to go too far, but you got obviously first round pick safety Caleb Downs, who is expected to step in and make an immediate impact alongside first round edge rusher Malachi Lawrence. So I mean, I don't know if the defense can even be middle of the pack. Dallas is actually going to be pretty dangerous. The offense is solid, but those are just my 2 bits. All right. So to give us the ultimate deep dive, we've got a whole crew of diehard Dallas fans running their own podcasts. All right. Within our network tonight to break down the Cowboy season preview. Let's send it over, ladies and gentlemen, to our first guest of the night. Again, it's an entire crew, literally crew of podcasters to give us the Dallas Cowboys season premiere. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's 17 minutes, by the way, but hey, I'll allow it. All good. You want to talk about some diehards? Let's talk about these guys, ladies and gentlemen. Giving us the Dallas Cowboys season premiere, the crew.
What's up? This is Cowboys Rolling Uncut, man, also known as the crew, man. What's up to everybody out there, man? We got a special segment, and we want to thank 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio, man, for for having us. I'm Dre. We got OG tonight. We got Steve. We got Crew Terry. Crew with Rick is the 5th member of the crew. We're gonna shout out him. But here's our 2026 Dallas Cowboys reality check for y'all. Yeah. So let's get right into it, man. Starting out with OG, man. Last off season, man. Getting into that, man. Our final thoughts on how the team finished up last year. What's your thoughts, man? We'll start with OG.
Man, not as great as I liked it. Record wise, showed some improvements, showed some things offensively. With the 4,000, the 2 1,000-yard receivers, the 1,000-yard running back, showed some great things offensively. Defensively, we were horrible. You can't win games if you're not defensively in them. So looking at that, we were young coach, young staff, everything new. This year be true.
All right, and what you got, Steve-O? What you got, Steve-O, last season, man? How we finished? Your thoughts, man, and how we finished?
Man, piggyback off the OG, man. I didn't quite, care about the way we ended the season, but I did see a lot of positive along with the negative, man. We had young guys, though, on a positive note. Good room of veteran leadership on the team as a whole. Had some problems with the defensive coordinator. Didn't quite work out, man. A little stubborn for my taste And but the offense was the brighter side, man. We got to build on some things. We found our running back. We finally got our guy after Ezekiel Elliott, man. We did finish off like we want to, but this year we bringing in Christian Parker and another year up under Shoddy, and we're gonna look to have a better 2026-7 season.
Your thoughts, Terry?
I mean, overall, it started out as a disaster, if you ask me. So the ground couldn't get no lower the way that it started with promise. We lifted ourselves up high early coming in with expectation. And then, you had the whole Micah episode, saga, whatever you want to call it. And then being let down by the defense with having high expectation early coming in with Eberflus. But I think the front office made up for it, with how it ended, in originally looking at how it was going, how the season was trending. We didn't have any faith in them, but knowing how it's ended has kind of overall affected my view of the season. Everybody has a down season, ours is always magnified a lot higher. So, I mean, it was so as usual. As a Cowboy fan, it was terrible. But for some franchises, they call it a good season. So I'm at the midway point. Overall, looking at this, looking at where we've trended now, I say it had to be done. But so season overall, man.
Okay, and me, I'm just gonna say that as far as the my thoughts on last season is, I was Shoddy. He exceeded my expectations of him as a first year coach. I thought our offense was a contender to, a Super Bowl contender type offense. Our defense was a first round draft pick type defense. So what did they give us? 7-9-1. So a mediocre season as a Cowboy fan. I'm expecting big things in the upcoming season. Moving right along. The off season. Speaking of it, did we win it? What's your favorite rookie out of the bunch? And give it a quick grade. Go, Terry.
Yes. I think that's a general consensus. The way that the front office was able to finagle them picks. Yes, we won the offense. We won the off season. The draft. Yes, we won the draft too. I believe we got the best player in the draft overall, the most cerebral, the smartest player, and what was looked at as the steal of the draft. He fell to us the last time we were able to get this type of talent. And at those later picks, they've always worked out for us, whether it was Micah, whether it's CD, and now you look at a player like Caleb Downs, to be able to land those type of players after 10, anywhere after 10, and with the expectation of what they have, yes, and then the moving around of the picks to get Malachi Lawrence, even just the moving up to get Caleb Downs and playing that correctly. I'd like to say the off season was a win, and the front office actually did what they were supposed to do. Finally, overall, finally, man, I'm happy with it.
What's your thoughts, Steve?
On the rookie class, man.
Rookie
Good
class.
draft.
Yeah, did we win the all season rookie? What's your favorite rookie out of the bunch? And if you were to grade it.
Man, good rookie class, man. I can't be too mad about it, man. I'd give us a grade of A- because we did address a lot of issues that we needed specifically on defense. But it's just we got one of the better. We made great picks with the first 2-round picks, man. And Caleb Downs, one of the best players in the draft, if not the best player in the draft, and the one that they slept on from 502's on, Malachi Lawrence, man. With those two additions, man, the turnaround on this team, man, could be great. So I definitely give this class an A- only because we didn't get a backup running back.
Your thoughts of the all season, OG?
Man, I like what we did. I'm gonna give them an A, man. Like I'm gonna piggyback off Terry. The moving up to get one of the smartest players you'll see was very, very crucial. And like Steve-O said, man, Malachi Lawrence, the hometown boy. Shout out Malachi from the crib.
Shout out 502 boy.
Look, man, he's a wrecker. He's I think 7 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. That lets you know guys is in the backfield. He's a motor. He gets there. You know what I'm saying? And Father Moore, you got Malik Neighbors a little shaky. You see him on Bleacher Report doing draft day when they made that pick. He looked like he had a migraine, man. So this tells you what kind of kid he is, man. So, and not to mention, Burham from Michigan in the 3rd round. We did well, man. We did something we don't see as Cowboy fans a lot, man. We moved up, made a solid pick, and made solid picks in needed spots behind them. So I'm proud of the offseason.
Yeah, I'm proud of the all season as well, man. I give it an A as well. Come On Downs is one of my favorite rookie additions. Also, the 502 boy. If y'all didn't know, we're from Louisville, Kentucky, representing that star. So we are proud of the Manuel kid out of the 502, man, Malachi Lawrence. I like to see what Barham does. Dallas Cowboy fans, we got an issue with Michigan players, but he don't seem to care about none of that. So I like to see what he does during training camp and going into the season, man. But I give it an A overall. Moving right along, man. We're gonna try to speed this up, man. We're going to not predict. We're not going to predict no record or nothing like that because y'all can tune in to Cowboys Raw Uncut on YouTube tomorrow, Mondays at 9:00. And tomorrow we're gonna do a segment about the season, and then right before the season start, we actually go through the schedule and predict our final what our records would be going in. So I'm just gonna ask the crew going around: do we see this as a playoff team? What you think, OJ? Are we a playoff team?
Yeah. I think the defense makes a step up with the whole CP hire, the draft picks. I think we're in good position. I think we take a step up, and yes, we're definitely a playoff team. If we're not, I'm disappointed.
I agree. I think we're a playoff team. What about you, Terry?
Easy money, playoff team. Yes. We were, arguably a few plays away from even being there last year as bad as we were. A few games, a few ball bounces here and there, we could have been in the running to make a 7 seed. You know what I mean? So, you think about the tie, you think about the lost game at Philly, a few drop balls, again, the tie at Green Bay, a few drop balls at Philly, here and there. Just a few plays could have changed the outcome of the season, even how bad we really were. Did we deserve it? Not so much, but could we have made it? Yes. So I think that this year we make that jump easily. The defense seems on paper to be much better. On paper, again, this is just looking at from where we were, but the ground couldn't get no lower. So again, we do have a elite offense. So if our defense can just be mid pack, I could say we can be easily a playoff team, if not a long shot to do some damage and make it a little further than what we expect.
All right, what you think, Steve? Playoff team or not?
Yeah, man. Playoff team barely. Man, we got a lot of work to do, a lot of questions to be answered, but I believe Shotty can excel his team onto the next level, specifically the offense. I think he has his hire that he wanted and nobody hired for him, and Christian Parker, the defensive coordinator, man, and I like that he's a teacher, just like Shotty. And the players that gravitate toward him, man, he got their ears, man, so I think with those teachings and the players that we acquired in the offseason along with the draft, this team could be a playoff team this upcoming season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can't wait to see, man. Training camp, man, about 13 days, 12 days. I don't know who's keeping up with the camp. But on this sticking to them, man, we're sticking to our NFC East rivals, man. And real fast, y'all, we got to go quick and get on out of here, man, the crew. I'm gonna throw out the team name, man, and you give me one sentence, man. One sentence on the rivals, man. Eagles, OG.
Sheagles. They've lost everything.
Dax Jalen Hurts' daddy. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna say he's better than Jalen Hurts, man. What you got, Terry?
Little brother. You know what I mean? His little brother always trying to beat us, man. keep trying to, if you get lucky enough to beat us, you won your Super Bowl again, and keep circling us on your calendar. All overall, everybody looks at us. Their success is measured by beating the Cowboys, man. Everybody in that division says its success is measured by beating us. So Eagles, little brother, man, that's all they are to us.
Cry, Eagles, cry. What's up, Steve-O? What you got?
Man, Eagles, the little birds with teeth, man. They eat Philly cheesesteaks. Can't stand them. Man, we own y'all. 75-59 overall record. Hey, man, just another little bird that just knocked off.
You booed Santa
We
Claus.
bringing
man.
that broom this year for y'all too. Yeah. All right. Giants. What you got for the Giants, young Terry? What you got, man?
The little Giants.
Yeah, the little Giant. Yeah, little
Giant. We had little brother, we got baby brother. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. Living. They talk about us. They talk about us with our Super Bowls, but outside of Eli, what have they done? They can't beat us. We own them. What are we like? 15-2.
I know in the last
16 games somewhere around there.
In the last 5 years, 8-2.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, like they haven't beat. Have Dak lost?
They beat us last year. They beat us
the last game of the season. I don't even know if it counts. That was garbage time.
We be counting W's when it comes to them. W.
Yeah,
it was a shootout with Russell last year too, man. But hey, man, defense is more solid now, so we ain't had none of it this year. All right,
easy money Giants, man. That's all it is.
What you got, Steve-O? Giants, man.
Man, the little Giants, like I said, man, little bro and them wanna be. They from the East Coast, man. Hey, they don't even got to worry about looking up to us, man. They got to worry about they running back, man, with that new knee doing backwards flips and busting his butt after, man. Yeah, man.
Get the WWE with that, man.
Man. Yeah. Ownership.
The OG.
Man, the P man. They peeing on themselves like Malik Neighbors was in the Bleacher Report interview I was telling you about. They peeing on yourself. 8-2 in the last 5 years, man. Mm-hmm. Own them dudes.
Yeah, man, and then we're gonna leave it at the Commodores. They call it the Commanders, but we call them the Commodores, man. This is how we feel about them, the wins. Sunday morning. Yeah. What you got, OG? Is that how you feeling?
Come on, man.
Feel about the Commodores?
It's easy like Sunday morning.
Hey, to all you youngins out there that don't know it, look up the Commodores in the song "Easy," man. That's the song that plays when we play them. You know what I'm saying? Easy like Sunday morning. Yeah.
Easy.
And that's even before our time too, man. We old heads in here, but it's before our time. But we still know about it. What you got, Steve? On Commodores, man, real quick.
Oh man, another little team in our division just want to be a part of it, man. But they nothing, man. Eat beef down here. We don't like chocolate city.
Yeah, and Terry, man, with the album cover, man. That dude coming with the album cover already. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we had to hit him with that. We had to look. He done switched up. He's over here. He's over there. Real fast, man. We gotta get out of here, man. We over.
What we talking about? The Commodores? What we talking about?
We over our limit, dog. Like, take us out. Yeah, take us out, man.
Man, we command the Commanders, man. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to call them, man.
Yeah.
That's we had little bro, we had little bro, we had little bro, and now we got little sis. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is, man. We ain't worried about the Commanders. We don't even see them, man. Like, outside of their little quarterback, they got amped up for 1 year, but at 25, they ain't did nothing either, man. Look up, man. All you see is the bottom of our shoes, man. That star print's real heavy, ain't it?
Hey, and that's what
real heavy.
And that's from the crew, man. Hey, once again, man, we're Cowboys Raw Uncut, man. Thanks again to 3 and Out on IE Sports Radio. Be sure to check us out, Cowboys Raw Uncut, Mondays and Thursdays, man. Live stream 9 o'clock. On our platform. We are everywhere, YouTube and everywhere you get your podcast. We appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to the homie Rick, man. I'm OG. I'm Dre, SOG, Young Terry, and Steve O, man. We also known as the Crew. Cowboys Raw and Uncut. Crew out.
Let's go, y'all. Hey, man, if they weren't good, I don't know what is. That was great. Let me get this little thing back. Here we go. Hey, man, can we get a hand clap for the Crew? That was great. That was awesome. That was awesome. Those cats can have some fun. They can talk some trash too and have some fun with that. I love the stick it to them segment, man. That was great. Jess is over here having some fun with this. No, for real. What do? This team is so every year. I'm telling you, it's crazy. The Cowboys they're just so up and down. More ups. All right, I will tell you that. But it's true because they're under a magnifying glass. This team, when they fail, everybody loves them failing. Everybody wants this team to fail, right? If you're not a diehard Cowboy fan, people love it. People love seeing their downfall. But their ups, well, people also hate seeing that too, but you got to give it to them when they are up, right? So I love that, man. Great points there made by the Crew, man. Go check those guys out. Those cats are great, man. I look forward to tuning in myself and checking them out, jump in their chat, man. Support, because that's what it's all about, right? We gotta support each other, man. We gotta make sure we're just continuing to support our fellow podcasters. And hey, man, again, we appreciate those guys. Thank you so much for jumping on in here. And that was the Dallas Cowboys season preview. What a job. And again, it's just one of those deals where the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They have so much potential. The offense this year is red hot. The defense did get better. Where will they be this year? We're gonna have some fun talking about that later on my final weigh-in. So, all right, y'all. Well, one team down in this division, and I think it's time to change up the color here and get on in, head out east. There's that wine-looking color, and there it is, y'all. Let's get on in to the Washington Commanders season preview. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going while it's hot, right? So, again, that was a thorough breakdown from the Crew out in Dallas. Thank you, guys, man. Appreciate you so much. Now, let's shift our focus to the nation's capital. All right. The Washington Commanders are looking to put up, I don't know. The Washington Commanders are looking to put this nasty, disastrous, I don't even know if there's adjectives bad enough for how horrible last season was because of how great the season before was, right? That's really where it is. This team they went on this incredible run that their fans weren't even ready for. Okay. And then last year, they just fell right back in the toilet. So kind of a rough go for these guys, but they're looking to put this monumentally disastrous 5-12 season firmly behind them in the rearview mirror. And the top item on this checklist is keeping Jaden Daniels upright, right? After a stellar 2024 rookie campaign, Daniels missed 10 games last year. That is exactly why they fell off a cliff, right? I mean, a few other things, but that's the biggest reason. Okay. He dealt with a sprained knee. He had a hamstring issue in there. He hurt his elbow. That was a horrible dislocated elbow. I mean, he had some problems last year, man. And it sucks. I'm a big fan of Jaden Daniels, man. He played right here up the road. I'm in the Inland Empire here in Southern California. He played a little bit up north from here in San Bernardino, man. Played at El Cajon High School. At Cajon High School, sorry. And Cajon Cowboy, he did his thing. He played so well all those years. And, went on to play FBS football. And then here he is now leading the Commanders. So I'm a big fan of this guy, man. And really, it was tough seeing him get jacked up and seeing that happen. But it's football, and he'd tell you the same exact thing. But he's stepping into a new offense with David Blau calling the plays, right? And he's also starting in the this is kind of crazy. I put a little note in here. He's actually going to be, from what I understand, don't quote me on this, But I think I saw somewhere that he's going to be on that Netflix quarterback series thing. So I don't know, kind of cool. But Jaden Daniels, man, he's in the spotlight. I mean, every quarterback is, right? So look, to help protect and support him, Washington went on a massive spending spree. And this big time youth movement on defense, bringing in elite. Now, when I say elite, I mean elite, man. Athletic. You got Sony Styles with the 7th overall pick, which I thought that was pretty solid, man. Along with pass rusher Adafe Owe and Clevon Chison, and I really think that these guys are solid. These were great picks. Obviously, if you have this many picks up near the top, you're going to take some great players. You're going to get some talent on this team. Some dudes are going to be here, right? But it's just the impact. What can they do with it, right? And then on offense, they added they had what's his name? Running back Rashad White and tight end Okono. Oh, I always butcher his name, man. Last year, I know that some people have made fun of me. I can't help it. She goes them Okono to give Terry McLaurin some relief. And McLaurin, man, Terry McLaurin has had it sucks because you've yet to see him really excel. Remember when he got drafted? And here he is now, years into the league. I think he just turned 30 last year or something like that, or somewhere, but I don't know. I know he's 30. And I mean, the young man out of Ohio State, I mean, remember seeing him years ago. He's a man, you know what I mean? I remember seeing him when he was a young man being drafted. And it's crazy because, again, you've seen him at Ohio State. You've seen how elusive and how good he is. And it's just like, man, like, when are the Commanders finally going to give him that? And he had some great seasons, but I want to see this guy do better. I want better for him, right? So just run back to the chat room real quick. And yeah, Jaden needs to play smarter. That's the truth, man. He's not going to hold up if he gets hit that much again this season. And it's the truth. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, guys. I mean, he is. Oh, that's cool. So he is on quarterback. So let's talk to. Yeah, I mean, this sucks that he got hurt so much. But can this be the year where he will outshine that crap and get himself back to where? Well, get him and his team back to where they were just 2 years ago. So anyway, so with all that said, man, I got plenty of stuff to say, but there's someone here that can explain it way better because he knows this team all too well. Let's hear how it all comes together. Let's do this with our boy, as he likes to call himself, our Mel Kiper here on IE Sports Radio, because he always does our draft stuff with us. This is like 10 years running now. He's been doing this with us. Ladies and gentlemen, our Mel Kiper with better hair, Mike Pat of IE Sports Radio, and one of the co-hosts of the Bullpen Bulletin here on IE Sports Radio, talking baseball every Monday with Freddie B. A little plug in there. So with that said, guys, without further ado, Mike Pat of IE Sports Radio delivering the Washington Commanders season preview.
Football fans, this is Mike Pat, your DMV insider here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, coming to you on 3 and Out with our annual 8 divisions in 8 days. Of course, here to talk about the Washington Commanders. First, let's start with last season. Definitely one to forget. In DC, the Commanders suffered a key injury early on with star young quarterback Jaden Daniels going down early in the season, really missed most of the year. The defense took a major step back from where they were in 2024 when it was one of the key units that got them to the NFC Championship game. The offensive line was rocky at times, leveled out a little bit more towards the end of the season, but overall, not a great showing on their way to 5-12. Definitely one to forget, and definitely one that made them kind of rethink as an organization, how are we going to approach this? How are we going to fix what we need to fix? So they went out, they were very active in free agency. Once we got to the offseason, they added a star pass rusher in Odafe Owe. They actually added multiple pass rushers as well, really kind of turned that group over. Defensive line stayed mostly intact. Linebacker, they made some moves. Had a very talented safety in Nick Cross. On the offensive side of the ball, they kept the O-line mostly intact and then went out and they added a couple of weapons. Rashad White, backup running back, good role player. Chigakonkwo at tight end, a good athletic tight end, should bring some playmaking to that group. And then in the draft as well, they had the 7th overall pick. They proceeded to use that on Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, one of my personal favorite prospects in the whole draft. It did cause a little bit of a backlog at our inside linebacker and edge rusher group, but hey, better to have more than not enough. And then they added some depth pieces lately. Really interesting wide receiver in Antonio Williams in the 3rd round. Not a lot of draft picks, but the main one, of course, being Sonny Styles. So lots of moves, mainly on the defensive side of the ball. So what does that mean for 2026? Well, the ceiling of this team is going to be dependent on Jaden Daniels. Is he going to stay healthy? And is this offensive skill position group going to gel together? They've had a few changes. Offensive line stays mostly intact. I expect it to be just as good, if not better, especially with Josh Connerly, last year's 1st round pick, entering year 2 at right tackle. I expect him to improve. They also have Larry Tunsil, one of the best left tackles in the game. So the offense is going to be dependent on Jaden Daniels. The defense, I expect it to be rocky to start. When you make a lot of changes to one side of the ball, it can take a couple of games for the unit to gel and really come together. But the ceiling's really high with the free agents they added and with adding Sonny Styles. Really potential to be a great group if they can put it all together. So what is the ceiling for this team? The ceiling is a playoff squad. I think this is a team that could win 9 to 10 games. I don't know about winning the division outright because there are, as much as I hate to admit it, a couple of good teams in the division. But do I think this team can make the playoffs? Absolutely, especially with Jaden Daniels if he returns to that 2024 form. Of course, if that doesn't happen, and maybe, like I said, it takes a few games for the team to kind of come together, this is a team that could potentially bottom a little and maybe fall back down to that 5 to 6 win mark if they don't all come together. But I think it's a good team. They'll have the benefit of a 3rd place schedule, although in the NFC that doesn't really mean a ton because the NFC North had 3 good teams last year and the NFC West had 3 good teams last year. So they don't get a ton of benefit, but it's better maybe than most. So ceiling, playoff team, floor, probably a team that could be picking in the top 10 again next year. But speaking of those division foes, I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, the Eagles continue to suffer from the attrition of, being a great team for a long time, spending a lot of money, offensive line's getting a little bit older. Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I'm starting to have doubts about him as a good quarterback. He can run the ball. He can get you 1-yard touchdowns via the tush push. But, is this team, they've got some good playmakers on defense, but the offense, I don't know. I'm not as worried about it as I've been in years past. The Giants, yes, they went out, they got John Harbaugh, very good coach. Can't speak bad about him as he came from the Ravens. But their running back will have CTE by week 6. And this team just historically can't stay healthy. Every year it seems that they have some key players missing. Also, what was it doing with another pass rusher in the 1st round? I don't get that. You already had 4. I don't know why you needed another one. And Dallas, look, they haven't won anything since the mid-90s. So what is there to be scared about? There's no point in being scared about a team that hasn't won anything lately. So I'm not worried about them. I do think, like I said, one of those 3 teams is probably going to be good enough to win the division ahead of the Commanders. But I do think this team can easily vie for 2nd, easily vie for a wild card spot, and show some great improvement in 2026. Thank you all for listening. And for more, of course, great sports, tune into not just 3 and Out, but all of the great shows here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That's absolutely correct. Great job to you, Mr. Mike Pat, doing great things here on IE Sports Radio. As always, got to show him some love, man. Great job. Thank you, sir, for doing that. Watch the Commanders season preview. Sticking to him never fails, right? It's always fun. How many pass rushers do you need? Anyway, great stuff, man. And no, I completely agree. That's huge. That's the big deal with this team, man. It's so easy sometimes to write certain teams off, right? It is. It's definitely easy. And the Commanders were one of those teams you could write off easily for years. But again, 2024 happened, and now I'm looking at this team a little bit different. Now we have a team that just kind of fell off a cliff, but obviously when your star quarterback gets hurt and bad things keep happening to you, it's not, I don't know. There's reason to believe the Commanders actually have some kind of chance, because this entire core is still pretty solid from 2 years ago. But can they just put it together again? Can they do that again? I mean, it's football, but my gosh, the Commanders, I will no longer look at the Commanders and say, yeah, that's a pushover. That's the Raiders, that's the Cardinals, that's the I know, I'm sorry, guys. There's some teams here, but you know what? Realistically, guys, the Commanders, I feel this team they have a leg to stand on. How high will they stand though? And we're going to find that out. So, all right, guys, with that said, we're taking a quick break. When we get back, we are heading on. We're heading north now from the nation's capital up to New York, y'all. East Rutherford, New Jersey, to be exact. But we'll call it New York. It's fine. They do it all the time. So, anyway, with that said, you guys, we're taking a quick break. When we get back, we'll be talking plenty more. We'll be talking to our brand newcomer, Jessie Lynn. Excited to talk to her all about those New York Giants. And we're closing out the show with the Flyover Eagles Network, talking about them Philadelphia Eagles. And then we are 4 teams down, but still 24 to go. You are watching 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your referee for all. That's sports. We'll be right back talking New York Giants after this.
Is made from the stadium lights to the stadium shade. The clubhouse crews, the on-field MCs, delicious park food and the summer breeze. Every voice in the game. Catch dirt and diamonds every single week. The California League coverage that you seek with Larry B and Freddie B. IE Sports Radio is the place to go. From the front office grind to the roar of the crowd, we play it loud. The grind, the game, the minor league life. It's all tonight.
Tune in to Dirt and Diamonds every minor league season for the latest in the California League with Larry B and Freddie B on IE Sports Radio. Keep that dirt flying, and we'll see you next pitch.
Welcome back to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC East Day, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Great show tonight, y'all. Hopefully you're enjoying it, man, as much as I am, bringing it to you. We're having some fun here, doing our thing, slapping the bass a little bit. I have a week left of being on summer vacation, so I need to get on making the rest of the commercials for all of our shows. But there will be plenty more commercials for all of our shows coming on up, I promise, for all of, to advertise each one of our great shows here on the network. But again, if you love sports, man, this is your place. This is IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Again, guys, we have an amazing plethora of shows here. That show has been taking off because we're catering this year to the California League here of the Major League, well, minor league baseball, the MILB. So Freddie B, my co-host, and I were having a lot of fun doing that. But we got great shows all year long, man. Again, like I said earlier, the Bullpen Bulletin doing great things. Mike, Pat, and Freddie B at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Mondays, all throughout baseball season, covering everything from the majors to the minors. They do an amazing job. Also, catch on Mondays too, all throughout racing season. If you love auto sports, and we're talking everything, guys, NHRA, IndyCar, NASCAR, IMSA, WEC, it doesn't matter. Australian supercars. All right. Formula One. We're talking Score, Nora. That's off-road racing. I mean, everything. Motocross, supercross, boat racing, H1. I mean, they're incredible. If you love auto sports of any kind, MotoGP, Superbike, whatever it is, make sure you catch Apex to Asphalt Monday evenings, of course, with Daryl Kinsick Jr. and Christopher Lehman. They do an amazing job on Mondays, all throughout race season, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, volleyball heads, man, catch my boy Teran Rodriguez. He is this dude right here. He does 3 and Out with us as well. They do a great job. He does a great job all year long, Monday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, covering all your volleyball needs on Set Point. If you love volleyball, my gosh, this guy covered us all from high school to the pros to the Olympics, the major tournaments all around the world. He does a great job covering tons of college, both women's and men's. AVP action, beach volleyball, just does an amazing job there. Catch him, of course, again, Monday evenings. And make sure you catch I'm just going down the list, guys. Our hockey show, all through our hockey season, they're currently on break right now. But the Neutral Zone with Adam Karnick and Freddie B, who's on millions of shows here on iSports Radio, talking all things hockey, World Juniors, NHL, obviously, AHL, everything. Wednesday evenings, they do an amazing job throughout hockey season. Running alongside of that one, because those two usually run side by side. Basketball, man, they just went on break right now, but catch Davison Crooks and Dentarius Locke on Fast Break Sunday evenings, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. They do an amazing job all throughout basketball season. And of course, our soccer show. Catch Jess and Big Mike, this Big Mike right here, Thursday evenings, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, as they cover everything in the world of soccer all around the world, man. Leagues everywhere, leagues you didn't even know about. Maybe you did, I don't know, but they do an amazing job all throughout the year. Jess and Big Mike on this little show we like to call Shin Pads and Shenanigans. So again, check out all these shows here, man. My boy Glenn Ritter he does his show alongside of mine. We cover the football, they cover the fantasy football. So they do an amazing job. He's starting later on in August this year on Wednesday evenings with the End Zone Oracle. So again, something for everybody here at iSports Radio. Whatever sport you like, I guarantee you we have a show for it. So we appreciate you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss any. And if I did, I'm sorry. But great stuff. We appreciate you all. Let's do it, man. Let's get on in. You've seen the little the color already changed. It's about that time to get into some Giants football. So here it comes, guys. New York Giants. Where do you even begin with this team? Where? I just want to know. Look, rolling on over to the Big Apple. The Giants managed a tough 4-13 finish last year, resulting in the firing of Brian Dabble and the arrival of Super Bowl champion head coach John Harbaugh. Cool. Whatever they think's going to work, right? Harbaugh brings instant credibility, which he does, and a culture change to the organization, which is desperate beyond belief to return to consistency. I mean, it's just crazy to think that they were in a bowl in the early 2000s versus the Ravens, and they lost, and then they won one in 08, and they won one in 2012 against the Ravens again. They knocked off the Pats, it was the Pats. The Pats 2 times in a row. That's crazy. The only team that was the Pats' kryptonite in the Super Bowl, right? Well, at least up to that point. There was more after Eagles. But anyway, I will say, look, the Giants, it's kind of hard to believe that they were that good just what seems like yesterday, right? But here they are now, and they look pretty desperate. But they went and got a guy that could possibly turn things around. Okay. Camp has already brought some early adversity, including, from what I saw, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but a brutal Achilles injury to players like to Roy Robinson or Robinson Harris in OTAs. I know I saw that was a rough one, but there's ongoing monitoring of Malik Neighbors and a dynamic second-year running back Cam Scadaboo, and that's the hard part is can they stay healthy? We're not even out of the gate yet, but can they stay healthy? Because they don't look very good. They didn't look good at all last year. They had a couple sparks of greatness, but that was literally some sparks. Can they do anything this year? That's going to be the big question mark. So offensively, this is without a doubt Jackson Dart's team now. Under the guidance of Matt Nagy, the second-year signal caller, he has all the physical tools to make this massive leap. Provided he stays healthy, though, and avoids reckless play, right? Front office additions, like first rounder, Arvell Reese, which is huge, and offensive lineman Francis Muigoa, who is a monster. And again, we were very high on him on our draft shows this year. He adds this huge dynamic, right? That's a massive youth movement, and it's fully underway in East Jersey. But I don't know, to give us that. The Giants give us this look that's so hopeful and possible. But again, it's got to be, you don't win football games on paper, right? It's so cliche with any sport. You win them on the field. So they give us a good look on paper, but we'll see how they do it this year on the field. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into our next interview. Talking Big Blue, we are thrilled to introduce a newcomer to our network. And without further ado, man, take it away, Jesse Lynn, with our Giants season preview. Let's do this.
Well, is back, and with the New York Giants starting training camp today, let's talk about them. So last year we finished 4-13. It was, the season had its ups and downs. The theme seemed to be that we were blowing fourth quarter leads thanks to Shane Bowen's defense. Thank God we don't have to deal with that anymore. The offense had flashes before injuries to Malik Neighbors and Cam Scadaboo. And Jackson Dart shined. He played really good. It's just, get out of bounds. The defense has the talent. It's just I felt like there wasn't a lot of depth. And, we made mistakes that other teams were capitalizing on, especially in the fourth quarter, and it just made us look silly. But, this offseason feels different. There's a new direction that this team's going in. We have a new coach, John Harbaugh, who knows how to win. He's a winning Super Bowl coach, and he knows how to build a team. Plus, we revamped all of our coaches. We have new coaching staff, and we have young talent that's coming in, and I really feel like this is good for the overall team altogether. I'm giving the Giants front office offseason grade as a B+. They made smart moves, and they actually addressed, needs for the team. They added pieces like Arvell Reese, which I was surprised that we picked him up for our first pick, because I was like, why do we need another linebacker? But if we're going the route that I think we're going in regards to the NASCAR package, I'm all for it. He is an explosive linebacker, sideline to sideline speed. He has great instincts, and his athleticism is off the charts. I think that he could become a dominant player in this defense for years to come. Francis Marinoa, he could end up being one of the most important picks in this whole draft, at least for us. He is a brick wall and athletic too. And Jackson Dart, needs that protection, and this also helps solidify that O-line. I always think of John Madden and how he said that football is won and lost in the trenches, and it always starts with the guys up front. So that's why it's so important to have a good O-line and a good D-line. Colton Hood was another rookie I'm excited about. He's a physical corner. He has good ball skills. If he keeps developing, I think that he could become a long-term starter on the outside. And then, don't sleep on Malachi Fields. He's 6'4". That's a big body. And, he brings size that the Giants have needed they've been missing it at wide receiver. He can, do contested catches, stretch the field, and give Jackson Dart another target alongside Malik Neighbors. I really think that he can be a game changer, but let's see what he brings when he puts the pads on. And I'm also excited about the offseason additions that we got in regards to, who he picks up in free agency and stuff. I mean, our boy OBJ is back, and I'm excited that he's back. He deserves another chance. He looks great. He's still doing OBJ things, the one-hand catches and his little twitch that he does and his route running. I've watched, OBJ for a long time, going back to LSU. I'm also an LSU fan, so, I'm excited that he's back and he deserves a roster spot. And I just know that first touchdown back in MetLife Stadium, we're going to break the sound barrier. All right. That's what I believe. Bringing in Isaiah Likely gives the offense another explosive weapon and a matchup nightmare at tight ends. Patrick Ricard, he brings more toughness in regards to the running game, especially with Cam Scattaboo. And he's one of the best blocking fullbacks in the NFL. Defensively, adding Tremaine Edmonds gives us an experienced athletic linebacker and who can help stabilize the middle of the defense. I think they said that he's going to wear the green dot on the helmet this year, and I think that he should, because he's definitely smart when it comes to that. Plus, I like the fact that Brian Burns calls him Predator, and then Arvell Reese is Baby Predator. I think that's funny. But he can definitely elevate everyone around him on that defense. My biggest concern is just the defensive line, because we have a massive hole that's missing, and that was Dexter Lawrence. And that was a blow to our team, losing Dexter. But, in return, we did get a beefy tackle, but it's still a concern because losing players like Dex, this means that these young players really need to step up and, prove themselves and develop quickly, because, in the NFL, potential is great, but on Sundays, it's all about production. I think that New York can get 9 to 10 wins this season. First, they have to stay healthy, both offensively and defensively, because injuries have plagued this team for so long, and I'm over it, okay? Second, I think they need to limit their costly mistakes. This means cutting down on turnovers, avoiding drive-killing penalties, and playing disciplined football, especially in the fourth quarter. Winning close games is what separates a 6-win team from a 10-win team. And lastly, I think Jackson Dart, he has to continue to develop. That offensive line has to protect him. And, the young rookies really need to contribute. And I think if those pieces all come together, I believe that the Giants can surprise a lot of people and maybe get a wild card spot this season. My prediction is maybe 9-8. It won't be easy because, the NFC East is a hard division. But this roster is better than people are giving credit for. And then let's talk about the NFC East real quick. So first, the Eagles. Philadelphia is still the team to beat. Everyone's chasing, Philadelphia. They have talent everywhere, and they built a very strong roster. It's one of the best in football right now. But, I swear it's because Howie does sorcery, because there's no other explanation for how he acquires people. And then, but in regards to the Eagles, sometimes they have a really good week and then the next week they have a terrible week. So, it just really depends on, who knocks them off first kind of deal. Regards to the Cowboys, it's always their year. So, they did good. They picked up on defense. They rebuilt that defense up because last year that defense was terrible. Not gonna lie, it hurt seeing Caleb Downs go to the Cowboys. It really did. But, it is what it is. Nothing we could do about that. Caleb Downs was one of the players that I wanted from the draft. And then we have the Commanders. You know, as an LSU fan, like I mentioned before, I like Jaden Daniels. I don't like playing against Jaden Daniels, but I do like Jaden Daniels. I think he's an incredible player. They picked up good pieces. They got Sonny Styles, who is going to be, you know, a great player on that team, but I believe that they're still like the oldest team in the NFL, so I think they still have some things to build up on. And in regards to my final thoughts, I just think at the end of the day, Giants fans should be optimistic. This isn't a finished product. There's still questions. But for the first time in a while, the Giants seem to have like a real plan and like developing an identity, and that's tough. And that's what we need to get back to, is tough, because the Giants have always been known to be tough for defenses. And, you know, what do defenses do? They win championships. We need to get back to that. And Jackson Dart has to step up this year, prove that you are the franchise quarterback, you know, because we don't want to have to go through another rebuild. Just can't do it. It's just, I don't want to think about that. And again, I think that they could finish somewhere between 8 and 9, maybe 9 and 8, depending if things go their way. So they might not be the flashiest team, but the team's heading in the right direction. And I think that they're finally building something that's worth believing in. So, you know, I'm excited to see what goes on for training camp, and I'm even more excited to see what happens on Sunday Night Football. So, go Giants.
All right, guys, and that was Jessie. Big shout out to her, man. Where's that darn applause button? Let's give her some love, man. That was awesome. Thank you very much for doing that season preview, Jessie. Oh wait, wrong button. Let's try that again, because you know, again, that's what happens when you press wrong buttons. Jessie, we appreciate you so much. Awesome job there. And honestly, there were some buttons here, okay, that I wanted to press. That I was pressing during the entire interview with Jessie, and this was good. Okay, this was awesome because this guy right here left some questions, and I liked it. Okay, our boy Glenn Ritter. Now, this is earlier, by the way, he said, I agree with Mike Pat that Jalen Hurts will take a step back in this, which is true. That sucks, but anyway. Now the Commanders talk. I should have aired that one earlier, but this is huge for the Giants. Okay, is Neighbors going to be healthy to start the year, or is he the next OBJ and never recover from his knee injury? You know, Neighbors was a phenom, right? And you want to cheer for a guy like him, right? You want this. You want to have this player that comes out of college, and you know, if he's on your team, like Jessie, you know, you want him to be this star. And obviously he played in a damn good LSU team. And, you know, you want to cheer for guys like him, right? But unfortunately, that's the league. And we all know what NFL stands for. Not for long, unfortunately. You know, Jessie talked about OBJ and his return. And it's true. Unfortunately, it's never the same again. Is it too early? I don't want to say that about Malik Neighbors. I want to stay positive. I want him. I mean, he's 23 years old, 24, something like that. I mean, sucks. Really sucks. Amazing athlete. Let's hope. Okay. Let's hope that he's going to come out and play solid. Right. I hate this. I hate the fact that, you know, he had the injury. But I'll tell you right now, Jackson Dart, this is make or break from him, man. Jackson Dart, the young man at Ole Miss, I mean, they're around the same age. He's finally got, you know, some solid receivers to throw to. I really hope that this year he can actually look better because he has lots of targets. Again, rough year last year. You couldn't get no worse. But another question here, or another thing here that Glenn said, not a question, but a statement, is the Giants will be huge. The Giants picks will be huge for them this year. And you're totally right. Okay. You heard Jessie talk about those draft picks. And obviously a dude like Scattaboo, that's huge, you know, which is there. But yeah, I mean, you talk about these youngsters. And I totally believe that this is that's their shining stars right now, because unfortunately you look at the dudes who are already there, and well, there you go. So Reese, Muguia, this dude's amazing. Even Colton Hood. I don't know how many people are too into Colton Hood right now or know too much about him, but dude's solid, man. Colton Hood, he's a solid player, solid athlete. He came out of he played for a few different schools. He rotated. I think I've seen him at Tennessee, obviously, is where he came from. He was at Colorado, I think Auburn. He bounced around a little bit, but you know what? He's got a lot of talent, and personally, you're going to need everything you need. You're going to need everything you can possibly get for the Giants. And this is certainly going to be a year where I don't want to say it's make or break for these young players like Dart or Neighbors, but I will tell you right now, the Giants have nowhere to go but up. But let's see where they go. And that's kind of where we're going to leave it, because I really have nothing else for the Giants, man. I hate to say it, but I mean, great job, though, Jesse. She did a great job. Thank you so much for jumping in. She saved the day. I didn't have a Giants fan today, so I'm glad this morning she, answered my tweet, and really glad to have her now a part of us too, talking in the little in our band chat and everything for 3 and Out. So we appreciate you so much, Jesse. And it's time to change that color one more time, man. You already know what it is. Turning it green. That midnight, what do they call it? Midnight green or whatever it is for those Philadelphia Eagles, man. It's about the time to talk about Philadelphia Eagles season preview, man. 3 teams down in the NFC East, 1 to go, and here they are. All right, y'all. So here it is. I don't know. The Eagles are they captured the division crown, last year, 11-6. They won their very first Super Bowl in 9 years ago in 2017 with Nick Foles. Crazy, right? A couple years ago, they won themselves another one. Tush pushing their way there. But let's talk about last year. 11-6, but the offense brought plenty of massive shifts. AJ Brown's turbulent tenure with to say the least, with Philadelphia has finally came to an end with that trade to New England. I know a lot of happy Patriots fans over there. And, but it sucks. I mean, leaving Devontae Smith as the unquestionable alpha there, really, and general manager Howie Roseman reloaded by spending a first-round pick on explosive, and I know because I am a diehard USC fan, explosive playmaker Mekhi Lemon, while adding veteran depth like Marquise Brown, which is another USC receiver. Remember Nelson Aguilar? He was there too, and he played for USC as well. So I'm just saying, but the biggest storyline in Philly, however, is the offense transitioning under the new coordinator, of course, Sean Mannion, who steps in to inject creativity back into a unit that stagnated last season, to say the least. Meanwhile, defensive mastermind Vic Fangio is back running the defense, though the unit has plenty of media fodder to monitor, with star defensive tackle Jalen Carter seeking massive extension and trade rumors swirling and all that fun stuff. But there you go. A little bit of Eagles talk there, but it's time to head on over, man, to a dude who I'm really excited to have him here. He's in our chat as well, man. Glad to have him and glad to see what he's got to say. Let's head it on over to the expert, if you will, man, or the Eagles expert here, or at least our expert, to talk about his Philadelphia Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Flyover Network talking Philadelphia Eagles season preview. Again, you are watching 3 and Out 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC East right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Take it away, Flyover.
What's up, y'all? Philly Flyover Network here today. So as an Eagles fan, last year didn't exactly end ideally, or however the case. Obviously, our right tackle, Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer, he missed the last 8 games of the season. AJ Brown missed at least 3 perfectly catchable passes in a playoff game, which played a huge part in us losing that game. Not to say it's the only thing. Obviously, the O-line could have played better. Jalen Hurts could have played better, made a couple better throws or however. I don't absolve anybody of blame. Everybody could have played better. to have the season end better and all that or whatever. But that said, can't ignore the coaching and things of that nature. Kevin Patullo wasn't ready for the job, or however the case, he was in over his head, to say the least. But obviously in the offseason, we traded away A.J. Brown. From a talent perspective, yeah, we lost, a lot of talent, or however the case. He did a lot for us, 1,400 yards in 2 seasons, for a grand total of 2,800 yards, or however the case, between those 2 seasons. Credit to him, on a personal note, feel free to check my channel out for my personal thoughts on it, or my Twitter, however the case, to see how I feel about it. But strictly in terms of what he did on the field, or what he can do on the field, yeah, it's a big loss. But in terms of the locker room, massive win. Massive win. Any Eagles fan that's watching right now, or however, knows that Smitty was on pace to have his career year and all that, at least 1,300 yards, something like that. Right after Smitty had 120, 130 yards the one game, or however. And I'm pretty sure it was even the perfect passer rating game by Jalen Hurts, or however. AJ was basically complaining after the game and all that, or however, and then they started force-feeding AJ again. Any Eagles fan remembers that correlation, remembers that happening, or however the case. He was on pace. Smitty was dominating. He was having a heck of a season. In terms of just Smitty's performance, it got ruined by A.J. Brown. And, of course, the O-line as well. That didn't help that. Guys were tripping over each other and things of that nature. But all that said, again, Jalen Hurts could have played better. And I hope, he does, and I think he can, and all that, or however. But yeah, in terms of the offseason, though, obviously, we drafted Mekhi Lemon in the first round to try to replace some of that value on the field, or however. Obviously, drafted Eli Stowers in the second round at tight end from Vanderbilt. I kind of like those picks, or however. I kind of just want to see how they look on the field officially, see if they'll work out or not. Third round, Markel Bell. I kind of heard he can't run block, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But other than that, obviously, I hope the best for him and all that good stuff. But other than that, in terms of offseason moves, the main one I'm excited for is Jonathan Grenard. Hopefully, we can have like that long-term pass rusher that's actually worth a damn. With the exclusion of Jalix Hunt. All love to him. He led the team in sacks and interceptions, but he's a third rounder, so I'm not really talking about him. But the first round guy, Nolan Smith, the guy that Howie keeps bringing guys in to do his job for him because he ain't good enough. That guy, that's mainly what I'm talking about. He's a dead weight. I'm, even as an Eagles fan, I'm straight up a Nolan Smith hater. So yeah, in totality, offseason and draft, I kind of agree with like the national media, A+, or however the case. I don't think, at least as of now, until we see him play, there's nothing really could have done better. 2026 outlook, if the O-line can be healthier, however, I think it's heavily contingent upon that. If the O-line can stay healthy for the season and, return to dominant form instead of tripping over each other and, getting hurt, tying their own shoes and all that, or however, if they can be healthy and be worth a damn, then I strongly feel as though, Eagles will definitely be in a very great position to do something in the postseason. But that said, I could probably see him winning around 12 to 13 games. Worst case scenario, like 12-5. Yeah, I think 12-5 is really like worst case scenario without 1K, always selfish, forcing the ball his way, be able to diversify the targets, not be so predictable. Best case scenario, I could reasonably see us probably getting around like 13-14 wins. 14-3, 13-4, something like that. Might lose to the Rams. All credit to them. They added Myles Garrett. All credit to them. Might lose one in Dallas. Typically how the season goes. That's 2 losses. And then 2 that I maybe not see coming. Being humble, being realistic. Because I try not to be cocky or nothing like that. In terms of the final part, I see Dak Prescott really having a solid year, however the case, and then obviously falling apart in the playoffs as always. Dallas fans say it's everyone's fault but him. He maybe has a couple turnovers, a couple of bad throws or whatever, and that gets swept under the rug. Jaden Daniels, I could see him having a pretty solid year, however, maybe winning the wild card matchup or however. Again, he's shown more than Dak Prescott has in his whole career, just in his one rookie year. New York, championship head coach, respectable tight end, and Isaiah Likely. Their running back coming back from surgery and all that, did a backflip. I don't know behind the scenes. I can't say. So, I could see the Eagles being first in the division, NFC East or however the case. I could see Commanders and Giants fighting for second. and then probably the Dallas Cowboys fighting it out for third or whatever the case between whoever, the Giants and Commanders put in second, and then obviously from there, however. I think that's a pretty realistic prediction, or however the case. It's a kind of established Dak's just a regular season quarterback. Jackson Dart, he's young and exciting, or however the case. Much props to him. Same thing with Cam Scatabo. They're giving hope to the Giants organization. Can't blame Harbaugh for going there. Yeah, definitely excited for this next upcoming year.
And that, again, was the Eagles Flyover Network, man. Big shout out and thank you. That was a lot of fun, man. After everybody brought tonight, great stuff. Big shout out to him. And just, again, thank you guys. You guys have been amazing. Give big shout out to all of our guests tonight. Gotta show them some love, man, because without them, the show wouldn't be any good. So I try, I do my best, but I'm just saying, I gotta make sure. I like that real, that real perspective from the diehard fans out there. So appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate every single one of you guys, of course, jumping in tonight. We have tons of people listening tonight, watching, viewing, whatever you wanted to say. And again, thank you guys for all making the effort to check out tonight's show. So with that said, we're take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, you're gonna get my final weigh in on who you think, or who I think will be 1 through 4, 4 through 1, whatever you want to say. Give a little rationale, and then get out of here and get ready for tomorrow's NFC South. So with that, I'm curious, what do you got to say over in the chat? Let me know. Who do you think is going to be 1st through 4th in the NFC East? And I'll catch you on the other side of this break. You are watching 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Day number 2, NFC East Day, right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this. For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome back to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Day number 2, NFC East Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome back, you guys. Appreciate you all so very much for tuning in tonight. And we're almost out of here, y'all. We got ourselves my final weigh-in. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, and we'll get through it. So, all right, guys. So first things first, let's do it, man. I already see somebody in there. So, okay, we're going to get my rationale. Okay, we're going to start as we always do, 4th place, and I know I hate to say it, but I think we all knew it. We kind of all had that same idea. And as much as Jess is amazing, as much Jesse's amazing for being here tonight, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, Giant fans, Big Blue. I got to give the basement to the Giants again this year. Look, here's my rationale. Okay, well, here's my ceiling and floor for them in my rationale. Okay, so the ceiling for them, look, they won 4 last year, maybe 6. 6 wins is a ceiling for me. Okay, 4 wins is the floor. Okay, and we're maybe 6 or 7, depending. Okay, but that means somebody up higher is going to drop a little bit. I don't really see that too much. That is floor. We're looking 4 to 5 wins, but here's my rationale. I love the hire of John Harbaugh. Okay, he brings the exact like adult in the room stability and that culture reset that East Rutherford has had, what has been striving for. Okay. But let's be real about the roster math. Trading away Dexter Lawrence, okay, coupled with a strategy, with I don't know, a staggering wave of brutal early injuries, including those heartbreaking Achilles tears and OTAs, man. Some, sucks. This means that this team is they're transitioning, but unfortunately, it's a slow transition. Okay. Jackson Dart has massive upside in year 2. But breaking in a completely new foundational identity under a tough new coach usually takes time. Does it mean that they won't be great? Again, we're just having fun here, guys, talking on the show. That's what we're doing. This is obviously, this holds no weight, but we're having fun talking about it. And expect growing pains early on, but that doesn't mean that Harbaugh won't. He came in with all these things, and now he's got to put his spin on it. Is it going to be a horrible first year? Okay, I don't know. I don't think it is. Is it going to be a great first year? Same thing. I don't know, but I don't think it is. I'm being real with you. I think that's a good ceiling. Maybe 6, 7 wins, 4 or 5 losses the floor. Hopefully no more than that. But Harbaugh is going to be a big difference. But right now, especially with the other 3 teams that are, I think, a little bit better, we'll see. Okay, number 3. This was hard for me because it really is kind of a toss-up. Because I want to say that this team is going to get back to where they were 2 years ago. But it's hard right now just looking at some things at the moment, okay? And that is, of course, the Washington Commanders. Ceiling, 9 to 10 wins. I can see them winning double digits if things get really if they can actually handle it. Okay. If they can stay injury free, or not stay injury free, but not as injured. And if this team can play at least something like how they did a couple years ago, cool. But if not, I still see them winning games. Okay, I have a floor for them at about 7 wins. I'll say 7 wins. But here's my rationale. Washington is a fascinating team. If Jaden Daniels stays healthy, again, this is if, and avoids the multi-injury nightmare that derailed his, I guess you can call it his sophomore season, right? His second year. This offense has a high ceiling. They could win more than 10 games. Okay, especially with a full campaign of a weapon like Chad White. Okay. I had to think of his name. Sorry. Defensively, Adam Peters completely emptied the clip. Okay. This brings in elite young athleticism like Sonny Styles and Adafe Owe to fix a unit that really gets hit rock bottom. The floor is high. Okay. The floor is higher than last year because the veteran depth additions for sure. But breaking in a brand new defensive coordinator and sorting out the skill positions just keeps them right on the fringe of the playoff bubble. Do I think it's going to be a great year for these guys? I want to say that again, because of what we saw last year. And gosh, I just want to see this team look good and win. But will it be? The defense to me is just it's hard. It's kind of hard. And like we have here. Okay. Glenn already put his in here. He's going first Eagle. So look at that. He's going Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Commanders. So the Cowboys, Commanders battling for third. Okay, I'll take that. Glenn says Giants having Harbaugh will be a big difference for sure. Davison hits it on the head here. That defense is definitely shaky. And that's what kind of gets me. You know me, I'm a defensive guy. Will it be enough for this team? We'll see. All right. After that, this is a hard one because I want to say that this next team is going to be able to maybe compete for that number one spot. But I'm just gonna spill it. It's the Cowboys, okay. But look, one of the dudes from the crew, man, big shout out to them earlier today. I think it was OG. I don't know which one it was, but I remember hearing, look, they're going to be a playoff team, but barely. I agree. I think the Cowboys can definitely be a playoff team, but so could the Commanders. Really. These two, I think, are going to fight for third. And I know Cowboy fans are going to be mad. Part of the crew right now looking at me throwing throwing popcorn at the screen is playing. But look, it's because I don't know. The Commanders, again, they offer a lot of promise. I think I think the Cowboys are better. They're definitely in a better place. But when it comes to the Cowboys, I feel like the ceiling, I really do believe, can be like 11, 12 wins. Dak turns it on. He stays healthy. This offense is high-powered. They look good. The defense gets it together. The Cowboys are scary. The Cowboys are definitely scary. If Dak don't play so well and there's injuries and the defense just keeps on laying eggs, we're looking at a floor of like 8 wins. There's still work to be done, man. And just like you heard the crew say earlier, there is work to be done. And I think that's fair, guys. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to give them an 11 or 12 ceiling and about a floor of about 8. I don't see them losing more than 8 games. That's crazy. A lot of things have to go bad for them to lose more than that. But personally, I don't know. This team is they're a little too good to lose more than 8. But let's see if they can win in the higher double digits. Okay. The offense is going to fly high. We know that. Dak Prescott is primed for a monster statistical output with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens now, leading the top tier wide receiving core. And the drama-free start to camp in Oxnard is a massive psychological win. They're playing good over there. I read something about that, the whole drama-free thing. This just means it's clicking over there right now. The entire swing vote here is honestly going to be Christian Parker's completely overhauled defense. If young additions like Caleb Downs and then Quentin Williams, of course, the big man, and Rashawn Gary, if they gel quickly and fix a secondary that was historically porous last year, to say the least, this team can challenge for the division title. If the defense takes time to mesh, they'll be trapped in the shootout with the Commanders all year long and in actual shootouts on the field all year long, because I just don't see them getting any better. So, I don't see them looking any better than that. Okay. So we'll see. I don't know. Good stuff there from the Cowboys. Good stuff in the offseason, but can they put it together? We'll see. All right. And then last but not least, man, obviously, number one, the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. And now I guess I can just go ahead and display the little banner. Okay. But look, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the ceiling, I got these guys 12 to 13 wins. Okay. In the floor, I think 10 wins is fair. 10, 9 wins around there. Until someone knocks them off. Okay. Until someone knocks them off the mountain, the crown stays in Philly, in my opinion. Same thing I said yesterday for the Seahawks. Okay. Even though the Rams, I do believe, have a much better chance of dethroning the Seahawks that any of the teams beneath the Eagles have a chance of throwing off the Eagles. I'm just going to say it's the same story for me in the NFC East that was in the NFC West. A little bit different, but until somebody knocks these guys off, I just don't see it. Yes, losing AJ Brown hurts, but you heard Flyover Network right now, man, talking about for the locker room, it was a win. Sometimes it just happens. People don't gel. Things happen, guys. Is what it is. But Howie Roseman reloaded instantly with first round glory. He had a playmaker, man. Mekhi Lemon, again, I'm a USC guy. I love that. And Devontae Smith remains one of the most reliable receivers in football. So Sean Mannion brings a fresh offensive scheme to unlock Jalen Hurts. And most importantly, Vic Fangio's defense remains elite. That's a suffocating unit, you guys. That's a good football team. I know the Jalen Carter thing. I know. I know. I'm surprised I don't have all these comments in here talking about, well, what about Jalen Carter? You know he's an anchor. I know he's an anchor, guys. I know. He's damn good. He's one of the best in the game. And he's a youngster, but they'll figure that out. Okay. If everything goes well, and I think it will, getting that defense going, they're nasty. Okay. The 1 to 53 roster in depth is crazy. Okay. And what do I mean by that? All 53 players, there's a definite potency in that entire 53-man roster. They have depth all day long. They look great in Philly. Okay. And it's simple. They are the strongest team in the division. So look for the Eagles to hold off Dallas, personally, in my opinion, and capture the division crown again. Do I think the Cowboys will make the playoffs? Yes. Do I think the Commanders will make the playoffs? Yes. Can they all three make the playoffs? Of course they can. But will it be one or the other? Yes. Eagles for sure. Okay. Cowboys, Commanders, that's a toss-up. Who wants it? Let's see. That's going to be fun. I'm excited for this. So we'll see. Again, that's just my opinion. Disagree all you like. That's fine. But that's just where I stand and that's where I see things. Okay. So with that said, you guys, there you go. A big shout out to everyone, man, showing love tonight and tuning in. That was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I love doing this show every year. It's so much fun doing it. And there it is. So with that said, y'all, that is a wrap on our NFC East breakdown. We got 8 teams down, 24 to go in the NFL, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and drop your own division predictions here in the comments. Even afterwards, that's fine. I'll see it. And that is that. Tomorrow, we are going to get going with the NFC South. And it should be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a morning show tomorrow. So make sure you just subscribe to the YouTube channel here. You'll see times and everything posted. Make sure you check it out here. Of course, you can always check us out on YouTube and everywhere else. So we appreciate you guys, man. And tomorrow we'll keep this train rolling. It's day 3 of 3 and Out. 8 divisions in 8 days takes us down south again to the NFC South. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you, Glenn Ritter, for popping in today. All of our great guests, man. Again, the entire crew, that is here, checking them out, man. Make sure you like and subscribe to them. Mike, Pat, Jesse, of course, and we got Eagles Flyover Network. Thank you all for being here today and being on today's show. Glenn Ritter in the chat, Brian Francione, Big Mike, again, he'll be on Saturday's show. Looking forward to that. Jesse, of course, here in the chat room tonight. We had a bunch of Glenn Ritter, Davison Crooks. Thank you guys all. Appreciate you all so very much for being here. You don't know what it means to me. So I appreciate you guys. And that is that. 8 teams down, 24 to go. We are halfway through the NFC, and that is that. We will see you tomorrow for the NFC South. And remember, keep it locked right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you tomorrow. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.
IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. 3 and Out. 8 divisions in 8 days. Let's go. On the training camp turf, the baddest collision on the face of the earth. 32 teams coming hungry putting teams to the test. Stick it to them now, let the trash talk fly. Look them in the eyes under the summer sky. The gridiron is calling, the tape doesn't lie.